Hey y'all, Tracery here with Picture Me Living, and I'm in Italy. If you're watching the YouTube video, which you should be, please subscribe, comment, like, share, tell your friends about it, all of it, okay? So I'm going to make a quick video because it's pretty fucking cold outside, if you haven't noticed. And I have on a crop top. Will I ever outgrow crop tops? Nah, I won't. It's my style, and I've kept up with my body, so I can afford to do that. Drops mic. Yeah, man. I think that's just my style. It's always been my style, and it's gonna be my style. So, last time I came to this hotel, by the way, this is my second time at this hotel, Chalet Alphas, and Italy. I'll post the information. Last time I came, though, I had a purple drink. I asked for a purple drink. I've had a struggle today to get a purple drink. This isn't purple, and he knows it's not purple. We had a laugh about it. It's more of a mauve, a pinkish, purple gray situation. And it's very sweet, so I'm probably not even going to finish that. That's one key to keeping a flat stomach for me. Straight liquor. No beer, no champagne. Only on rare occasions will you see me drink any type of wine situation. I even have a wine little bookshelf situation at the house, but I don't fuck with it like that because the yeast in beer and wine just goes to your belly. It does look pretty in a glass though. So I drink red wine typically on a vacation, and red wine is probably the better one for you. But yeah, straight liquor. The thing about straight liquor though, yes, it has the least amount of calories. But if you're a sailor like me and can hold your liquor like me, it leads to bad food decisions. I don't make many bad decisions. Like, I don't have one night stands. I don't ever, oh my God, I don't remember what happened unless I'm with my man and, we turn up. But, my girls, is usually food that's my bad decision. A lot of people don't talk about that. Alcohol leads to all types of bad decisions, and food is mine. I will be in that Crystal parking lot after doing all them squats in the gym and after talking all this shit on the podcast about what not to do. I will get drunk and be in Crystal parking lot. So that's why I try to withhold from liquor every now and then, because I'll blow up real fast. Life is all about balance. So I'm here with one of my travel friends, Miriam, and she's like, wow, Trey, you never eat any sweets. I give you chocolate. I give you cake. You always turn it down. Hot chocolate last night, I turned that down. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to drink some liquor. The fuck? So that's my balance. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but I'm going to get drunk as fuck. Whether you get drunk with me or not, when it's time for Trey to drink, she drank, and now she drunk. All right. Turning 40, February 18, 1985, I arrived Grady Memorial Hospital. If you do the math, that was 40 years ago in a couple weeks, okay? People typically reflect around birthdays. My new year always starts on my birthday. I think 40 is such a crazy year. When you think about it, I've been through a lot. My family, I'm going to get into that in a second. But even like my adult life, let's just talk about Tracery for a second. I was married at 19. I had a kid at 21. My kid is now 18. He's about to graduate high school. Like, dude, like, air traffic controller, the schooling that I had to go through, the things that I experienced, the stress that I went through, that I currently go through. Man, like, I've lived a long life at 40. I got a lot to talk about. I've got a lot of advice. So what motivated me with this podcast, let's go on a little tangent here. This is my second time recording this episode. I recorded one on our balcony with the view, but the way the lighting was set up, I ain't like it. So we just gonna post other videos with the view, and y'all gonna get this podcast for now. Yeah, let's just get into why I want to do this. So I see Instagram posts all the time about what would you tell your younger self? Or if you're in your 20s, ask women in their late 30s a question. If you're in your 40s as a man, tell teenage boys something right now. I love those posts because kids typically don't listen to their parents and they go out and they learn shit the hard way. You know that, and I know that because we were kids and we ain't listen to that. We ain't listen to them. Had to censor myself just then. But we didn't really listen to adults then. So, we listened to strangers, right? And so I love those posts and I love reading the comment section because people be like, oh my God, I'm in my 20s and I need guidance. And people are really giving kids guidance in those posts. So I kind of wanted to gear this I'm turning 40 moment into some great advice. And maybe women my age can take away from it, agree with it, comment their advice, whatever. Not having shit figured out. Still ain't got shit figured out. I got a lot of shit figured out because, like I said, I have a lot of life experience. But I know now that I don't have it figured out. When I was in my early 20s, I thought I was going to have it all when I was 30. That was a fucking lie. You're not going to have it figured out. You're not going to have it all. And if you do, God bless you. Teach us your ways. Maybe I can learn something from you. Everyone is not your friend. You're going to learn it in so many different periods, right? So Jay Shetty just had a guest on his podcast. Love Jay Shetty's podcast. It's so positive. But Jay Shetty just had someone on there describing the changes in adult friendships, right? So that's something I'm not going to lie. You're going to learn that as you get older. But at 40, you learn that everybody just ain't your friend. When you're about in your 30s, you're going to learn that, like, you're going to have coworker friends. You're going to have your stylist friend. I have a story about my stylist friend a little bit later. You're going to have associates. You're going to have homegirls, whatever you want to call them. And sometimes we called our homegirls our friends, and we shouldn't have, I even say this is just some bitch that I know. I just know her. She cool. That's the homie. I pull one of those. You know how the guys be like, that's the homie. I be pulling that shit. That's just the homie right there, bruh. And I've had some homies, air quotations, that, started telling me like their personal business and stuff. And they made me kind of, in a sense, manipulated me into thinking that we were friends. And now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, you can still tell me your personal business. I ain't telling you shit about me. Everybody ain't your friend. Okay. People not liking you. The sooner you figure out that no one likes you, now hear me out with this one. Okay. I follow this page called Disappointing Affirmations. Now, if you're the type of person that wake up crying for no reason and your life is just sad, you might not want to follow that page. But if you're like me and you find joy in the shittiest situations, like, I'm going to laugh. I follow Disappointing Affirmations, right? Because I'm emotionally aware enough to know there's a deeper meaning to these disappointing affirmations. So I reposted one the other day. It said, stop worrying if people like you, because they don't. Now, if you're that type of person that wake up crying, that shit'll probably drive you off the edge. So let me explain something to you. What that means is stop worrying about that. The people that are for you are for you. They're going to be around. They're going to be around. You can give them tough love. They're going to give you tough love. They ain't going nowhere. They're going to fuck with you. But the people that ain't for you, I mean, I've even seen friends get into physical altercations and they still friends. Mainly guys. Women aren't capable of that. But men can get into physical altercations and still, bro, what we going to eat later? The people that are for you, okay? There are some nice ass people that sit next to you, that, hey, how you doing? That dress look good. They gonna do that in your face to death and not like you. Okay? So that's why that is a disappointing affirmation, but it is so true. The deeper meaning, though, once again, is the people that are for you are going to be there. Period. Everybody don't have to like you. That is a tough pill to swallow. You cannot go through life thinking that everybody is meant to be your best friend. Absolutely not. Everybody's not meant to agree with you. Sometimes shit just don't work out. And sometimes you see people that are working out and you're like, dang, what's wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong with you. That's what comes with age. And that's why I'm doing this. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Okay. Some people are just lucky. Some people win the lottery. You ain't won it yet. That don't mean something is wrong with you. That just mean your ass ain't won the lottery. I ain't won it either. Like, you're doing just fine. You're gonna be fine. A lot of times we don't get to hear that, you know. One thing about me ever since I was a kid is I always told myself in the mirror that I was beautiful. Today's gonna be a great day. I learned that in church. I guess a lot of y'all ain't go to church. But start today, go in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm beautiful. You need to tell yourself that for some little stinking ass man tell you that shit. Because once a man tell you that, then it's a wrap. You done heard it from the wrong place. You need to tell yourself that first. You need to love yourself first. Love on yourself. Once again, this is 40-year-old Trey just giving all the stuff that I've learned and the stuff that's worked for me. Once again, go back to number one. I still don't have shit figured out. But I can tell you what I do have figured out. And you can also comment what you got figured out. And we can combine our figured shit out shit and disperse it to everyone that needs it. Never stop taking care of yourself. That's heavy. Never stop taking care, especially if you're a new mom, especially if you're a young mom and your body ain't snapped back right. Keep going to get those nails done. Keep going to get your hair done. Keep going to yoga, Pilates. Listen, this is the best advice. You see, I'm still in the crop top, right? Listen, if you ain't gonna listen to nobody, you gonna listen to me today. Do not stop doing those little things for yourself. I don't care how hectic your life gets, okay? The only thing that I'm against is taking a little boy to do girl things. I never took my son to the nail salon. I never took my son to a hair appointment. That does fuck you up a little bit. You do need some sort of support system. And maybe if you are a single mom with such a small kid, you do need to get on the early pre-K list. Do what you got to do to get that break so that you can start back doing those things immediately. It starts with the nails. It starts with the manicure. If you don't want the acrylic, it starts with a shampoo. That's what it starts with. So I tell you one thing, a man is going to be selfish and he's going to take care of himself every single time. A man is going to choose himself. I don't have to do these talks to men because men they're already ingrained with that. They're going to follow their heart. If their heart is with another woman, they're going to do that. If their heart is in the gym, they're going to do that. Men rarely give up parts of themselves for a marriage. And when they do, it shows. It be the men with the beer belly and they done got fat. I reposted this meme in my close friends that said, so it was a guy proposing to a woman. It was a drawing of a guy proposing to a woman. It said, would you mind giving up your life and sacrificing for me while my life goes completely unchanged? That's pretty much what marriage is. Drops mic again. And women like me just don't benefit from that at all. Like, you're going to have to change for me. You're going to have to give up the hoes. You're going to have to pay some bills. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot because, I don't want anything else. I'm going to skip around my list a little bit. Telling women not to settle. I've changed my mind about that. Hear me out. If your goal is to have security from a man, you're going to need to settle. You're going to need to settle fast. I'm sick of seeing the over 35 women that I met and that I know of that complaining that they ain't got no kids, and this dating world sucks. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it sucks. So you should have settled at some point if that's what you wanted. Now, if you didn't want kids, keep your standards up here. And a lot of people are not going to agree with this. I don't give a fuck. Comment below what you think. But if your goal is security from a man, because that's not my goal, okay? But I knew early on that I wanted kids, and that's what the fuck I did. I got to keep picking up the mic and dropping it over again. And it don't work out like that. I get it. People be scared or whatever. It don't work out as perfectly as it did for me. But that's perception. It didn't work out perfect for me either. I struggled. Like I said, finding someone to watch my kid when I just wanted to get my nails done, I used to have meltdowns. So it's actually not perfect. It hasn't been perfect, but I got through it. Okay? Not suggesting everyone do what I did. I'm just saying, if you set your goals and you know what you want early on in life, and it's a kid, have a kid. If it's security, get security. If you want security early, you're going to have to settle. There are a lot of great men out here. They short. They bald. They might be short and bald. You pass them up because you're looking for a 6'5" basketball player. Promise you that 6'5" basketball player got a little meat. Can't stay hard because he done fucked 200 bitches before he was 25. Or it's broken. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have a guest to discuss that one day. Like, that's the thing. And then men be expecting you to be excited for these things when they ran through. Like, bruh, calm down. We'll talk about that on another day. My little mauve drink is kicking in. That goes for men too, though. Like, if your goal is to have kids, know what you want and know what you want in a woman. A lot of y'all are passing up good women. A lot of y'all are running through these good women because someone told you that's what you're supposed to do as a man, and that's not what you're supposed to do as a man. That's absolutely not what you're supposed to do as a man. As a human, you know? If what you want is to have kids, you should probably work on that instead of working on being promiscuous, you know? Prioritize your self-care. Hobbies. I can't stress enough how important it is for you to get hobbies ASAP. Specifically for women, okay? Get you some hobbies, get you some business about yourself. Circling back to what women want and knowing what you want from a man, right? When you want security, go after that. But if you want to be left the hell alone, set your standards high. With that being said, both of those women need hobbies. Book clubs, working out, yoga, whatever. From experience, I know for a fact that men complain a lot more than they should about women not having hobbies and getting on their nerve, okay? I've worked with men for over 20 years in the aviation career. That is all they bitch about. They come to work to bitch about that, which is kind of odd. We'll discuss that with the male guest one day. Like, you want to be with a man? You want to go find you a man then? Like, I always found that odd. I'm just letting the women know that that's what a lot of husbands come to work and complain about. Y'all be getting on their nerve. Just get you a hobby. Then they'll be so sad if the hobby is a side dude. They'll be just crying at work, just angry. And they won't be crying about that. They'll be crying about, like, something at work not going well, being passive aggressive because their wife cheating on them. Like, you should just took her to dinner, dude. Not her side dude taking her to dinner. The fuck? Women do give up the most in relationships, arguably. And we can argue about that. I want to, actually. Women, stop apologizing. And that works in two different ways. Stop apologizing for feeling a way. If you have feelings, feel that shit. Somebody made you mad, let them know. At the same time, stop apologizing without correcting your behavior. If you're a shitty person, correct that behavior. Sometimes people be shitty and then they come back around you 2 weeks later like nothing happened. Nah, bitch, you pissed me off 2 weeks ago. Correct that behavior. That leads me into something that I had to really do some soul searching about. There's never a right time. What that means is if somebody bothers me right now and I really care about that person, I'm going to process that because I'm in extreme control of my emotions. I'm not just going to lash out, right? I'm not going to crash out. But then tomorrow, now I want to say something calmly, like, hey, you upset me last night. But then they fall down the stairs and break their ankle. Oh, man, it's not a good time. So I'm just going to keep it in for a few more days. Nah, man, I don't give a fuck. You in the hospital. I'm make sure you all right first. But I got to get this off my chest. It kills me to keep stuff in. I mean, it kills me. And I don't know why, but I surround myself with people that do that a lot. And I think that it's a me thing because I just let my feelings slide, right? So yeah, control that emotion first. Check that. But then immediately say something. It's never going to be a good time. I actually have a situation right now with a very close friend of mine. I was supposed to borrow a drone from him and I knew he wasn't going to come through for me, but he didn't. And I wasn't surprised. And I immediately said something like, I knew you weren't going to do it. And I knew that hurt his feelings. But if my line crossing is flaking and not being reliable, I have to speak up. Keeping that to myself, I just die a little bit each time. I just let that slide. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Like, y'all see where I'm at? I wanted that fucking drone. I wanted a drone shot. I actually was hoping this person came through for me, and they didn't. And had I held that in because they were sick or something happened after the fact, I would be upset on vacation. Nah, you gotta get that off your chest. You're unreliable. Moving on. I felt so much better once I said that. Still kind of pissed. I seen somebody with a drone today and I was like, bruh, what the fuck? All right, so this one is going to get a little deep. The Serenity Prayer. I learned the Serenity Prayer when I was a kid. Okay, my mom has battled drug and alcohol addiction my whole life. And where I lived with my grandmother, we lived in the projects in Atlanta, they had programs. And one of the programs was Narcotics Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous. I thought, silly me, fucking 7-year-old, I didn't have the knowledge, right? I didn't have adults teaching me adult situations, right? But I thought that I could go to Narcotics Anonymous for her and change her. And I would go, and if you're familiar, they teach you the 12 steps for sobriety and the Serenity Prayer. And the 12 steps went over my head at the time, but the Serenity Prayer fit right into the church that my grandmother was taking me to. The Serenity Prayer is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I took that prayer to my mom. She cried, I cried, and we promised to look up at the sky every night and say that prayer. And we did. She would remind me whenever I saw her again 6 months later, I've been saying that prayer, baby. And I said it every night, and I know for a fact she did too. That's probably the only reason why we still communicate to this day is because of that bond, right? And I don't even think she knows that I was going to these meetings for her, nor do I think her mental can really take that in, right? Because like if my son told me he was doing something for me, I would die. I would change the next second. Like, what? I'm impacting your life that bad that you're going to a meeting for me? What the fuck? Like, I would make some severe life changes. So I just don't think that, she could grasp what was going on and how bad she was affecting her kids at the time. And I think that we just learned to live with her lifestyle. That prayer, though, saying it over and over again, created this person you're looking at right now. Like, seriously, I know how to accept the things that I cannot change. I can't change a lot. And some things do make me mad. But saying that prayer, the most difficult part for me is the wisdom to know the difference. And with age, I became a little bit more wise to know the difference between the things that I can change and the things that I can't change. The courage to change the things that you can't. Like I said, I told a friend the other day, like, hey, you're unreliable. I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago. I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that at 30. I would have been so timid and, it's okay. They're grown. They know they let me down. Actually, they don't. People really either think they're getting away with things or they just don't know that they're actually doing these things to you. You have to speak up. 30-year-old Trey didn't know that. I know that now. Serenity Prayer. I don't know what that can do to help you in your life. I just wanted to give you a little insight into my life while also providing you with a spiritual solution, if you will. I actually